Supreme Court nominee Elena Kagan is taking a day off from her meet and greets on Capitol Hill.
She's met with already more than a dozen senators in the past 2 days. That includes Maryland Senator and Judiciary Committee member Ben Cardin, Democrat from Maryland. Senator Cardin joins us now. And Senator, so what kind of questions did you ask her? These meet and greets, we've heard different versions of what happens here. Some folks say it's actually where the real questions get asked since the TV cameras aren't on. Others just say it's about, glad handing. What was your meeting like?
Well, it was not the first time I've had a chance to meet with her. I chaired her confirmation hearing for Solicitor General, so we had a chance to talk last year. But this was an opportunity to go over what I think are the key issues. I did go over her commitment to the Constitution and the protections in the Constitution against abuses of power, to try to get some candid responses, and I thought it was very helpful. I had a chance to go over some general issues. Look, she's a very qualified person. The President brought forward a person who's being received, I think, very well by the United States Senate. But it does give us a chance to sort of set the stage for the confirmation hearings itself.
She's been quite critical of the confirmation hearing process, having seen it from the inside as a staffer to Vice President, now Vice President Biden, and Senator Biden. Do you have any reason to believe, based on your discussions, that we should expect a greater level of candor from this nominee than we've seen in recent confirmation hearings?
We did talk about that in my office, and I asked whether she was prepared to try to improve the ability to respond to questions that are asked. And obviously, there's a delicate balance that she has a responsibility not to prejudge issues that could come to the court, but the Senate has a responsibility to understand her philosophy, her commitment to the Constitution, and how she goes about reaching decisions. So we'll see. I think that you're going to find a person who understands the importance of the confirmation hearings, and I do hope that she'll be forthcoming.
Senator, I have to say, I'm a bit confused. When did we decide that there are things she can't say because it'll sound like, or things any nominee can say because it'll sound like that they will prejudge? There's nothing in the Constitution that says this. Is that correct?
Well, you're absolutely right, but I think what's happened ever since the Bork confirmation hearings, that there's been a reluctancy to be too candid in the confirmation process because it's used by your opponents to affect the confirmation itself. And since the Bork nomination, every nominee has been very timid about going into specifics on cases. However, there's a lot of writings, there's a lot of information, so we know the people fairly well, and I think what we're really looking at is how they go about using legal precedent to advance the constitutional protections to current situations.